This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Louie Tee, host of the Louie Tee Network, and this is One Burning Question, a series that will take a look at all 32 teams in the National Football League and pose a question. Some teams will have micro questions where we look at the team in its current state and talk about what could potentially happen for them in this season, and some will take a macro approach where we kind of open up the lens a bit and take a step back and look at it from a wide view look and perspective and talk about where these franchises might be going in the future, not just this season, but moving forward. So I'll take a look at each and every single team, ask a burning question, answer that question, and move on to the next team. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy One Burning Question. Welcome to this In the Lab Room exclusive series, One Burning Question. I, of course, as always, am your host, Louie Tee. Thank you for joining me on this program, as today we'll be talking about the New Orleans Saints. This is a team that is a huge enigma. I've given up on the Saints at least 2 or 3 different times this season. I gave up on them after the rough start. I gave up on them after the loss to the Texans. And then they go out, have the performance versus the Panthers, almost take down the undefeated Panthers. Then they have the road win at Tampa, and I'm looking at them and I'm saying, who are these guys? What are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? And so let's ask the one burning question for this Saints organization. Where is the New Orleans Saints organization headed? That's a very simple, straightforward question. But the answer is anything but. What are the Saints doing? And I think it was right around week 9 or 10 when everyone started to have rumors about Drew Brees, and right around when they fired their defensive coordinator, Rob Ryan. This thing is going to be blown up at the end of the season. Sean Payton is going to be gone, and there are a lot of coaching vacancies that he would love to fill, like Miami. And maybe you can get a 2-for-1 package with Peyton and Drew Brees after the season, because neither one of them is going to be back in New Orleans. And I must say, I started to buy it after that Texans game. I wasn't buying it at first. I said it's typical overreaction of the national media. Saints are struggling. It's easy to say Peyton's going to be gone and Drew Brees is going to be gone, and they're going to start anew. Okay, yeah, whatever. Then they lose to the Texans, and I swear that was the most lackluster performance I may have seen from any team this season, all 32 teams. They went to Houston, and they laid the hell down, and there was zero fight in this Saints football team. And I said, they've officially quit. I looked at them, and I said, these guys have packed it in. Sean Payton has quit. Mentally, he's checked out. He should just go back to New Orleans and clean out his office. Drew Brees, he's done. He's ready to move on. They've quit. They've officially quit. That's how I felt after the Texans game. I was embarrassed, and I'm not even a Saints fan. Watching that game, I was embarrassed for Saints fans. I said, this is ridiculous. The Texans aren't that good to be putting you down and laying you down like that and doing you at the crib. And I didn't know where the Saints were going to go after that. But they said, you think we dead? You really think we're done? You think we quit already? We're going to show you. They went out, jumped on top of the Panthers, had them dead to rights in that game, let them off the hook. Then they go to Tampa and win on the road, and in a very impressive game where they didn't have Mark Ingram, had to put him on IR. They go out and win with Tim Hightower. They go out and blaze them with all these guys showing up like Marquise Colston, who hasn't been present all season long, with 2 touchdown grabs. It was really eye-opening for me because I thought this team had quit. So I want to know, where is this organization headed? What are you doing? Are you going to blow this thing up? Are you going to start from scratch? Is Sean Payton going to be back? Is Drew Brees going to be back? What are you doing? Because last offseason confused me to no end. I looked at this team and I said, you traded away Kenny Stills. You got rid of Ben Grubbs. You got rid of Jimmy Graham. Okay, you must be rebuilding. You must be trying to start over. And then I looked at some of the other things you did, and I'm like, what are you doing? This isn't the look of a team that's trying to rebuild. Then I looked at all the young players that you were playing, and I said, okay, maybe you are trying to start over. Maybe you are trying to get young. Maybe you are trying to turn this thing around, but not actually start over. You're trying to reload instead of rebuild. It's okay, teams do that. And I think you had just enough talent with Drew Brees at quarterback and Sean Payton as your head coach, and a couple of guys, Brandon Cooks and Mark Ingram and a couple of guys at the running back position, Kyrie Robinson, that you could get by. You went out and got C.J. Spiller, and I said, maybe, just maybe, they can stay afloat despite having a young football team. You look at the defense, you look at the offense, there's a lot of young players on this team, and that's the mark of a team trying to rebuild. But I didn't get the sense that the Saints were trying to rebuild. And when they got back to 500 at 4-4 after the rough start, I said, they're not trying to rebuild. That's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to win. I said, okay, I can get with this. Okay, I see where this is going. And then after a couple of tough losses, some blowout losses, where you were embarrassed, you got embarrassed by the Eagles, you got embarrassed by the Redskins, you get embarrassed by the Texans, you get embarrassed by the Colts, or actually I think you went on the road and you beat the Colts. And I'm like, what is this? I see this team get destroyed, and then I see them go on the road and beat Indy, and I'm just confused. I am confused. So, I don't really know what this team, I'm confused. That's why I'm asking this question. What are you guys doing? Where is this organization going? I like a lot of the young guys that I see out there playing football. I like Delvin Breaux. I like his feistiness. Okay? I love Stephon Anthony. I loved him in the draft. I told you I thought it was a great pick. I love Stephon Anthony. I think you've got some things brewing on this football team. Kikaha, Haoli Kikaha, playing well for you this season. I think you may have something in Bobby Richardson. There are some pieces here that you have that I'm like, you can do something with that. Willie Snead. I like Willie Snead. There's some stuff here, but you need more stuff. You need a lot more stuff. You need Keenan Lewis to stay healthy. You need to get rid of Brandon Browner. He's a penalty machine. And you need to start being more consistent offensively. I still don't know exactly what the Saints' aim is on offense. Do they want to be a power running team? Do they want to sling it around with Drew Brees? I still think you need a big time target at receiver. I like Brandon Cooks. I don't love Brandon Cooks. You need a big time receiver. You need a guy that Drew Brees can throw up, because Colston isn't that guy anymore. He used to be a guy that you could rely on over the middle to make big catches. He's not that guy anymore. His time has come, it's passed. You need a big time, and he needs to be like 6'2", 6'3". Drew Brees needs a big target to throw the football to. He's missing Jimmy Graham this season. That's apparent. When you get in the red zone, you're struggling. You need to be able to have a big target that Drew Brees can throw the football to and know that he's going to win whether he's open or not. That back shoulder fade needs to come back in a major way. And I think if you get a number one receiver and Cooks is allowed to be the number two and Willie Snead is able to be a number three, you might have the makings of a really potent offense moving forward. I'd love to see you do something at tight end. I thought Josh Hill was better than what he was. I felt okay about the Saints moving on from Jimmy Graham because I said, you got Josh Hill. I like Josh Hill. And then I saw Josh Hill and I got more Josh Hill than I was ready for. And I said, I don't like Josh Hill. I don't like Josh Hill. And then I saw what you were doing with Benjamin Watson. And I said, that's nice, but Benjamin Watson's like 32 years old. Like, he's not going to be able to keep doing that year after year after year. So what are you doing? At the end of the day, I said all of that to say this. What are you doing? Are you blowing this thing up? Is Sean Payton going to be back? Is Drew Brees going to be back? Or are you starting all over? I don't know. So I asked this one burning question one final time. Where is the New Orleans Saints organization headed? That's a really good question. I don't have the answer to that. I'll be fascinated and I'll be sitting back watching this offseason to see some of the moves they make. If Sean Payton isn't back, if Drew Brees isn't back, if one of those guys isn't back, okay, it's a rebuild. If both of those guys aren't back, it's definitely a rebuild. If both of those guys are back, they're not conceding anything in New Orleans just yet. That's the one burning question for the New Orleans Saints. I'm Louie Tee. See you next time.